That's a lot of big stories. What could be number one? Brrrr, Trump's September 11th conspiracy theory. I first started researching this, it was like Trump was talking, and just when he said something, I could like almost read his mind. And I've looked for this speech before, and I couldn't find it. But when he talked about 911, I could just tell like something was going on up there in his head. Something outside the usual. And then he gave conflicting information about where he was that day. And it started out as just that, a conspiracy theory. But I started looking into different things about Trump and 911. And I just kept finding all these little things, like Trump predicted Osama bin Laden specifically in his book. He went to tour the building after the first time it was bombed, even taking a tour of the basement. He called Larry Silverstein immediately after this thing happened. And did you know the first time it was bombed, the guy died in prison, kind of like Jeffrey Epstein. Blind Sheik was his name. And more gradually, I just started to become more convinced of it myself. It was just a gradual thing. I thought maybe it's 30% likely, 40% likely. And now I'm at the point where I think, my personal belief is I think it's most likely that Trump was involved in it. I started becoming more and more convinced when I saw how Trump handled coronavirus. And it just showed that he doesn't care how many people die. And then the thing that pushed me over the top was January 6th, because it's like, dude, terrorism is what this guy does. Even within the last months, more and more of the pieces are falling together for me. Like, oh yeah, the oil party, of course, like they're behind it. They love Islamophobia. It's a heyday for them to blame it on people wearing turbans. And even more information coming in, like Paul Manafort made all this money getting the exclusive cleanup contracts. And the most recent clue, Donald Trump himself slipping up, talking at the 20-year anniversary of 911, saying that prosecutors are looking at him for a deal he did 20 years ago on the 20-year anniversary. So put the pieces together. That attack gave Trump the tallest building. Larry Silverstein got not one but a double payment from the insurance. It helped Giuliani get reelected. And just thinking about the Republican Party, seeing that lately they've been functioning as a terrorist organization, all these things just push me to the point where I myself believe that there is a high probability that Trump was somehow involved in 911. And that's my number one story. If I become president, we'll find out if it's true.